Hello everyone, I am the Green Eagle, or Brivlek as my in-game name, and we are going to do another tips and tricks Project 1999 tutorial video. Today we're going to be covering considering, which is possibly the most important mechanic in the game. I'm not actually sure that a video is necessary for considering because I have a feeling that if someone has seen P99 and has taken an interest in P99, that they've probably seen some gameplay and so have seen the consider mechanic at work. But I figured, you know what, it was better to just go over it and then we know that it exists. So we're going to go over considering. I'm going to pull up in the video two very important wiki pages relevant to considering. The links for those pages will be in the description, so you can always get back to those because I'm only going to gloss over them briefly, and there's a ton of really good information in there that you may want to look at on your own time. So considering is the mechanic by which we determine how a given NPC feels about us, as well as how the NPC's level compares to ours. Otherwise, every mob just looks the same with the same blue name that everything has. So the way to do it is there's a couple ways. You can right click a mob. I don't recommend this being your default intuition because right click has other functions like looting corpses and inspecting players, things like that. And so if you go to right click a mob to try to con it, um, you may end up doing one of those other things and not actually pull off the con. So what I recommend is you target the mob. I'm going to target Dulia here. You target the mob and you hit C, or whatever your command key is. I believe C is the default. And now that I've hit C, we can see in my chat window here that I now have a message. Dulia judges you amiably. It appears to be quite formidable. So every con message is broken up into two halves. You've got that first half, which is your faction standing with the NPC, and the second half is the NPC's level relative to your own. The second half also correlates to the color of the text. So it appears to be quite formidable is tied to the blue con message. And so I would say she cons blue to me. And then actually I'll show you how, if I con something else here, over here, let's con this Aviac. And then you see this text is red. What would you like your tombstone to say? Notice he's still amiable, so the red does not indicate KOS, just means the mob is really high level compared to you. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the wiki pages. So here we are on the faction page. Really dense article with a lot of really good information about how faction works. We're just going to talk about this chart right here at the top. Luckily, the messages in game on the con message correlate directly to each of these tiers, which works out great. So you can always tell right where you are on the chart. I'm not going to talk about each of these because most of them are only important for like doing various quests. You have to have certain faction standing to do quests. But the two that I will talk about real quick, scowling and threatening. Those messages are glares at you threateningly and scowls at you ready to attack. That means the mob is KOS. That means it's going to attack you if you get too close. Here we are on the consider page now. This one isn't quite as meaty in terms of information, but it's still really useful. So the reason that we're going to look at this real quick is because as you level up, the level range that is covered by a given color and a given message in the con message will change as you level up. So one thing that is standard is the actual color scheme. There will always be green for low level, blue for a few levels below you, white is even to you, yellow is 1 or 2 levels above you, and red is 3 or more above you. But your blue and green messages and the space, the levels that it covers will change over time. A really drastic example, at level 1, a blue mob is 1 to 3 levels below you. Let's just jump straight to level 60. A blue mob is 1 to 15 levels below you. So, for instance, when I conned that NPC, she was blue to me. I'm level 36, so I can go to the character levels 33 to 40, and I can see that she is 1 to 10 levels below me. That is about all I wanted to show about this. I definitely recommend reading this over and looking at whatever your level range is and checking as you level up. But really, this is just me letting you know this is a resource available to you. All right, I just want to talk about a couple of extra things. First off, players will always con indifferent to you. I can demonstrate that now actually by conning myself. And now you can see Brivlek regards you indifferently. So players will always be indifferent. And then the only other thing that I will say is that invisibility will make all mobs that can't see you con indifferent. This is really useful for when you're trying to navigate somewhere that is KOS to you, and you're invisible. If you're conning like everything around you, then you will hopefully see all indifferent messages. But there'll always be that one mob that you con that it says glares at you threateningly. Now you know that that mob can see you, and if it hits you, it's going to break your invis. So that's a really good way to keep an eye on the mobs around you, find out what will still attack you while you're invisible. Anyway, those are my only two little notes on that, so that's it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's pretty much all for considering. If you have recommendations for how I can improve these, or if you have recommended topics or requested topics, please leave a comment. I will be checking those, and I'll even follow up in chat if we have things to talk about. Also, you can reach out to me anytime you see me online. If you have questions, I'm happy to help out any way that I can. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and enjoy your time in Norath. I'll talk to you guys next time.